Hello Internet, old guy in shed. More woes with the Falcone, Moto Guzzi Falcone. My model, the civilian model, has the dynamo come starter motor. One turns into the other. We used to call them dyno starts back in the day. I think that was Villiers coined that name. Anyway, bottom line is I'm going to have to start taking it apart again, putting it on the bench and start work on it again. I'll show you, shall I? So here we have the Falcone, and the part I'm going to have to sort out today is that bit right there. It's decided it doesn't want to work. It works fine as a dynamo. It's charging the battery just wonderfully, but to get at it I'm going to have to strip away all of this big casing, which means dropping the foot peg a bit, getting it all out and doing the work. I will, when I get it out on the bench, the part that is, I'll show you what I'm getting up to. Never ends. Okay, trying to get this nut undone on the dynamo. Obviously, whether you just put a spanner on it like this, whole lot rotates. Even if you hold the flywheel, just spins it underneath the V-belt. Can't really do much here. So I take the socket off and I turn to my trusty impact driver. No, still not working. So I've been off, had a bit of a break, and I went to the workshop, because I still work part-time, and the young man there I knew was in possession of a super powerful impact gun. This is his own personal gun, because it's more powerful than the one we use in the garage. I've not tried this yet, so I'm going to give it a go. You'll have to excuse the buzzing in the background. I'm charging the batteries as I'm working on it. So let's see if it works. I don't know. It's got one chance. And there you have it. It's off. Nothing like the right tool for the job. Sadly, I can't give you a tip if you haven't got this sort of kit or access to the sort of kit. I'm lucky, I guess. I'm just lucky. So I'll carry on a bit more and update you when I'm a little bit further ahead. Okay? Hope this is of interest. So, here's the offending item on the bench. Easy enough to get out. It's one bolt all the way through, one bolt on the sliding adjuster, and obviously the pulley, a couple of connections, and we're away. I cannot believe the weight in this thing. It literally is really, well, it's a hefty piece of kit. So my next move is to remove these screws here and get to the brushes. Before I do that, I might just undo this screw here, which is the band here, and see if I can see inside first. I think that might be an easier thing to do. So you might as well stay with me for this particular part of the operation. It may or may not prove fruitful. Who will know? Yeah, it's coming quite nicely, I think. Unless I'm in for more problems. I don't know. Maybe not. No, it's fine. It's good. Going to have to undo it completely because it goes over these loops. I'm going to have to spring it. Hopefully I can get it back together again. It's always a worry. You do this sort of thing. Taking them apart's one thing. Getting them back together, completely different story. There we are. Like a tape round it, a sealant type thing. That should be, off it comes. And yeah, I know you can't see very well in there, but trust me, they are the brushes there. And this is where it gets interesting, because I don't know which of the brushes for the motor and which are the brushes for the dyno. I don't suppose they're the same brush. I wouldn't have thought. It's a very odd arrangement anyway. So I'm going to remove this anyway and get in there with cleaner and the airline, and I'll show you when I'm in there. No point in watching me undo screws. Okay. So I've lifted the brushes and trapped them with the spring on the side of the brush so they're away from the commutator. All of them, there's 4 of them on this. I've taken out the ring of screws. Now all that remains is to take the cap off. Of course this doesn't want to just slip off. No, things never work out. This way. And we'll see how we go. There she is. It's okay. Here she comes. Ever so gently. Seen a problem. I've seen a problem. The brushes actually trap on the sides of the casing. So this means, I think, I'm going to have to actually physically remove the brushes entirely. So see how that works out for me. Okay. Again, I don't see much point in you guys watching me undo screws, but let's see how we got on. How boring it's going to get, but at all. Might be fascinating, you never know. They're tight. There you go. Yeah. These on a slot, or are they on a ring? Who knows? You know, what I might do is kind of cheat a little bit by pulling these off and letting them slap into the way of the commutator. Get them off in my hand and then do them on the bench. That might be the easiest route. We'll soon find out. This is what you learn when dealing with all this stuff. Unless you've actually done a couple of them, you don't know what to expect each time you do a particular job. You've got no idea what to expect. What I have expected is for this to be fiddly, and I was not wrong. Here we go. And nearly there. Nearly there. because all the wiring is going to remain in place, isn't it? Ah, one thing after another. One thing after another. Not so sure what to do about this, guys. It's going to go up there, isn't it? Move that. Screw there. I can see this becoming the fiddliest job on the planet when it comes to putting it back together. It really can. Ah, it is, in fact, on the click. Great. Right. I'm going to actually remove the what do you call it? The brush. I'm at it. There you go. There's one brush. I can give them a proper clean now, can't I? If nothing else. Okay. Get the next one. Might as well just remove them all and be done. Now, a magnetic screwdriver is a pain in the ass. Every now and then it does become very useful when you're doing things like this. Oh no, it's better than you. Well, that's it, they all look pretty tidy so far. Pretty evenly worn by the look, which is a nice sign. Oh, that doesn't want to come out with magnetism, but it comes out with a pair of pliers. That's just the little washer. Oh, what joy. What joy. Yeah, all pretty good. All pretty good. Quite pleased with this. It's in way better condition than I expected it to be honest with you. Well, on slots. Let's do this as the last one. Yeah, on slots. I know they're on hoops. What are you doing? Ah, dropped it. Never mind. We'll find it. It's only in a second when all this comes out of here. There she goes. And yeah, it's all in pretty much the same condition, which is quite a blessing really. Now, I'll be able to just ease this sucker off. Oh, there you go. And there you have it. There's the screw that I lost before. There should be another one in here somewhere. There's a little bearing type spring washer that sits at the bottom, and that just snugs the bearing there. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. Yeah. All looks a bit mucky in here, but all eminently fixable. This is the plate where all the brushes go on, which looks like it's going to be as fiddly as hell to put back together. But we'll give it a good clean next, for the next time we're here, and we'll see how we get on with it. Right, so I'm going to turn this off, because I'm sure you don't want to see me just gathering stuff together, and I'll carry on again in a sec. Excellent. Okay, next part of this process, I'm going to use the faithful Scotch Brite green. Just cut a little strip off. We're going to use a brake cleaner on the commutator, and this is just to clean it all off and get all the rubbish off from in between the segments. Now this is a trick that I've been supplied with, I guess is the word, by a pal of mine who did it on his BSA with great success apparently. So we clean all the way around it. This is less abrasive than, say, wet and dry and what have you, but it's better than just a rag. It's you know, it's a little bit between the two, which I think is a nice way to clean stuff like this, to make sure you're just getting through that surface muck on the commutator that is just adding to the resistance. Okay, so we've got rid of that. And the next thing I need is, hope you can hear me, lint-free cloth. Okay, lint-free cloth, which we now wipe it off with, and we just keep looking at it until, after we've done it, this is the famous lint-free cloth test. So yeah, still a bit of black coming off. Just keep going. Another clean bit. Until your cloth is clean when you come away. So you can actually say that that is properly cleaned and ready to rock and roll. I'm now going to give this lot a bit of a clean up. What I'll be using on this is a brush. If I can find the right brush on it. You can use an old toothbrush, to be honest, which is a good thing to use. I did go mad one day and buy some proper little, you know, these cleaning brushes, eBay specials, and again just using a bit of brake cleaner just to get everything smartened up and corrosion free. And I'm actually going inside these receptacles for the brushes, because they sort of get mucky inside and grip the brush, so that it doesn't make good contact then, and that therein lies your problem, because the damn thing then won't get a contact, or it'll get a contact but it'll be of a higher resistance, and then you'll get arcing, and that puts the black on the on the bits and pieces. So on it goes. It's just a downward spiral after that. Like I say, it's a case of how far do you want to go? I personally go as far as I think is necessary for the job to be done properly. We pull the spring out of the way and just get it to catch there, and there you go. And just push it through, like that, and so on. And it becomes quite a... Actually, cleaning stuff like this so that it works properly is almost quite... what's the word I'm looking for? Therapeutic. You know, because you know you've done the job and it's been done right, and you're therefore happy with it, you know. And you've got your own peace of mind that the job's going to survive for a long time after you've finished, after you've left it and walked off. You're not thinking, oh, I wonder if that's going to be alright next time I take it out. You never think that anymore, because you know you've done it. And if you have a problem, well, it's something else. There you go. They look pretty clean. They look pretty clean now. A little bit of a service spray, mainly on the springs. Again, don't have to go mad. You don't have these things saturated. If you take any excess away, a little bit of film. I guess you could use anything, you know, WD-40 or any of those sort of products, and it'd work just as well. So now we're in the reassembling stage. They are dirty bloody things, but I think it's the carbon that you're picking up. It's like working with broken pencils, I suppose. The graphite in them. But I do think that this is one of those jobs that once you've done it and it's away, you'll never need to do it again. You know, you've got it right. And if you've got it right once, that's good enough. Good enough for me. Right, what I am going to do is just put a little bit of grease in this open cage bearing, because it's not a sealed one, and you can hear it. It's a little bit loud. Is the only word I can use. Right, excuse me a minute. Right, ordinary LM grease, nothing spectacular, nothing clever. I find this is as good as anything on these sort of open bearings that are in a reasonably decent environment, because it's not too bad in there bar the carbon dust off the brushes, but it's hidden from that anyway, because it's in the recess of the end plate. But it's just enough to keep the thing running smooth and nice for a few more years. There we go. It's in. A little bit of LN. Ordinary everyday stuff. Oh dear. There we are. And now I'm going to spin it. Not noisy anymore. So we're doing some good somewhere. When you go back, put it back together, don't forget to put a little wavy washer. This just puts that bit of pressure on the good old, what's his name. As you can see, that bit of maintenance. So, have all the brushes in, back plates on, grease the bearing, just put the little shroudy thing back on to look after it, and we are, as they say, ready to rock and roll. Happened to have damaged a piece of that somehow. I don't know where it went. So all that remains is to put this cover on, and then I'll be in business to pop it back on the bike and give it a run to see if we've actually got a starter motor now. Hopefully it'll all just pan out fine. I need to just make sure that this is going to work before I start setting off on my happy trails, because quite simply you don't need it, right? You really do not need a starter motor on a Falcone, but the way it works with the decompressor and it sort of wheezes over, it's actually hilarious, and because it doesn't do things quickly and it all sort of wheezes into life, it gives people such a smile that it's worth having it operating properly as it should. As I say, other bikers, when they see it do it, they just are tickled pink, because it's just a ridiculously simplistic system. When I told a pal of mine that it actually fires it, the pulley is on a V-belt, and he says, how do you power an engine on a V-belt? I said, you don't. You just put enough energy into the flywheel. It's the flywheel that kicks it over compression. So I hope some of this has been of interest. It's just another trial and tribulation of owning a Falcone. I will now be putting it back on the bike. So here we are, all back in place. The whole unit is now bolted on. Like I say, it's 2 bolts, one at the bottom, this one here, job done. And then you pop on the pulley, V-belt, you're all ready to rock and roll. I have tested the circuit as best as I can, but I don't know what any of the values are supposed to be. But there you go. Now let's have a go at trying it. I will say at this point that the battery's beggared. I didn't know that until a couple of minutes ago. So I've got a boost pack. I'll stick that on and see if we can get the damn thing to fire. So here we go, I've got a boost pack here onto the battery just to help us out. This is the first time I've tried it, so I actually don't know whether all that work has been of any use. Give it a go. And there we go, first go, not a problem, spins it over just fine. I am very pleased with the result of that. I think you will have noticed that throughout this video that I've done, the stuff that I laughingly call editing hasn't been great. This is because the battery failed in the camera twice. Failed once, swapped it out for the spare battery, put that in, not realising that it also was virtually flat. So, a couple of glitches. I'm not good at editing, don't pretend to be. But anyway, it showed you how an easy job, or what an easy job, dealing with old dynamos is. Taking them out, cleaning comms, putting them back together, cleaning bushes, put them back in, and off you go. It's not hard. It ain't rocket science, and it works. You don't have to spend a fortune on replacement. A lot of the time a decent clean out is enough. Okay, it's the old guy in the shed saying, hope you found it interesting, edifying, or just filling in the gaps from wasting your life replacing stuff when you don't need to. It's okay, it's okay to replace stuff, don't get me wrong, we all have to do it. But I've enjoyed it. please hit the like and subscribe and share this about. Other people may find it interesting insofar as they've got problems with stuff that just needs cleaning. Thank you very much. Old Guy in Shed. See you again.